Us were novices. We were novices in Williamstown, Massachusetts. Williamstown had been a long-standing novitiate for the SEL, or New York province. And it had moved from Williamstown to Middletown for a number of years, but then they decided to rehab the Thistle House, the novitiate. So they put the novitiate back for 2 years in Williamstown. And I was the second of those 2 years. Beautiful spot. 1,000-acre retreat house. Gorgeous location in the Berkshire Mountains. And so I was hoping, because we were supposed to be back in Middletown, but you know how building projects get delayed, and the Thistles wasn't ready, so they left the novices another year on the 1,000-acre parcel of beauty. I was so happy. And on that property, Ivan Cormick Marsh, you all know Ivan, was the novice master, the official novice master. And retired to the property was an SEL Carmelite named Francis Donahue. And Ivan quickly enlisted Francis to be co-novice director, because Francis knew the Carmelite charism very deeply, very well. Francis was an interesting man. He had 2 doctorates, one in philosophy, one in systematic theology. He taught here at Catholic University for a number of years, and then he moved to Niagara Falls, to the PCM college, and he taught philosophy at Niagara Falls. But that would have been many years prior, and now he was retired. So he took on the duty of teaching the novices the Carmelite charism. And so first off, he said, the Carmelite charism is so beautiful. It is so powerful that we're not going to ever discuss it inside. It needs to be discussed outside, in nature. And when the novitiate begins in June, it's easy. But as winter approached and the snows got deep, by Christmas we'd already had 100 inches of snow. But did that stop him? No, every time we had Carmelite spirituality class, we were in the snow. But he taught us a lot besides the charism, because he would, when you're outside, he was teaching us the constellations, so we recognized the names of the constellations. I've forgotten a lot of them now. And he would be oftentimes in chapel. But if you came in the chapel, if anyone came in the chapel, he would get up quickly, because he always said he never wanted to come across as holier than thou. But he loved to sit in the chapel. He was a special man. And I think my class, held him very dearly. And when he died right after we took vows. We took vows in June. He died in December of a heart attack. Because we're all on internship, could not attend the funeral. But every time I go to Middletown, every time I go, I drop a rose on his grave. Because he was that instrumental in my life. He changed mine. He taught me so much. And he taught me, I think, what an ideal Carmelite can be. Prayerful, humane, funny, interested in others. He had lines like, if you ever shush somebody because you're praying, you're not praying. Good lines like that I've kept with me all my life. And since then, whenever I run into trouble, like questioning my vocation, I'll say, Francis, if I meant to leave, help me leave. If I meant to stay, help me stay. And in my Houston years, like when a student would have a meltdown or problems or great dilemmas or anything, and it was beyond me, I would say, Francis, I need some sleep. I entrust him to you tonight. And it seemed like by morning, the guy had his act together. And I think that's why we have this feast, or this commemoration of all Carmelite souls. Because I think we all have a Francis in our lives. Someone who wizened us, taught us, and loved us, and deepened us, and mentored us, and directed us, and helped us. And I trust that that continues to this day. So that's what I think we have in this book tonight. These are the Francises of our lives. So I would just like to commemorate these holy, these special Carmelites tonight. Francis Donahue, Joachim Snyder, Roy Conway, Bryce Reardon, Eamon Carroll, Corman Sullivan, Matthew Defense, Alban Quinn, Emmett Gleason, Rocco DeLeonardi, Terry Fender. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. David Walsh, Shane Taney, Simon Kay, Martin Sarkey, Brocard Sewell, Martin Hort, Hugh Clark, John Burridge, Paul O'Brien, Tony Palin, David Waite. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Donald Grant, Jose Lucchesi, Ronald Gray, Roland Murphy, Jim Boyce, Jack Russell, Joachim Smet, Ray Foster, Joel Moulton, Paul Hope, Albano Quinn. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Albert Havlick, Michael Higgins, Ernest Larkin, Jack Larkin, John Law, John Knernshaw, Ronald Usen, Tony Powell, John Melly, David Walsh, Tim Sklover. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Mario de Tana, Redemptus Velabeck, Brocard Connors, Cecil, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
through